Hello YouTube, CINEMANIACS here, and today I will be reviewing Saving Mr. Banks, directed by John Lee Hancock, director of the Oscar-winning film The Blind Side, and starring Emma Thompson and Tom Hanks. The plot follows P.L. Travers, writer of the Mary Poppins books, played by Emma Thompson, who travels to California to meet with Walt Disney, played by Tom Hanks, who has embarked on a 20-year trek to get the rights from Travers to make Mary Poppins. As the film goes on, Travers keeps having flashbacks of her relationship with her father, played by Colin Farrell, who is the inspiration for the character of George Banks. I have been a fan of Mary Poppins. I would watch that film every summer along with Tim Burton's Pee-wee's Big Adventure, as the film reminds me of that wonderful summer back in 2006 when I went to Texas. I was never really a fan of The Blind Side. It was an okay film, but one that I wouldn't fancy watching again. Saving Mr. Banks, on the other hand, is actually a feel-good film that stays true to the facts behind the making of the movie. Since 1938, Walt Disney has been chasing P.L. Travers for the rights to Mary Poppins after making a promise to his daughters. Tom Hanks does a brilliant job as Walt Disney. Disney is sort of a big kid at heart. He's channeling Walt Disney. There is a scene where Walt attempts to seduce Travers into granting him the rights by taking her to Disneyland. I have not been to Disneyland in 12 years, but I would like to go again. Emma Thompson does a spectacular performance as P.L. Travers. She does an arrogant, stuck-up performance. I like how she keeps correcting the other characters in how to address her. She was against the idea of making it a musical and of the film being animated, but the greatest performance has got to be Colin Farrell, who plays Travers Goff, her father, whose name Travers had taken as a pseudonym in honor of her father. Colin Farrell's character is the inspiration for the character of George Banks. Going into this, I thought that Colin Farrell would play a heartless, realist character who is always putting her daughter down, just like George Banks was always doing to Jane and Michael in the film. I was surprised when he turned out to be a light-hearted, carefree, fun-loving character who loves his daughter and enjoys stepping into her imaginary world. The saving that the film's title references is the hardship that Colin Farrell's character had to endure, but I won't get into that, or else I'd spoil the film for you. Now, this is probably the first time I have seen Colin Farrell in a more serious, dramatic role. I have always seen Colin Farrell in action films where he always acts like a hard ass. But in this one, you feel for him. He really conveys so much emotion in his performance. He deserves a Best Supporting Actor nomination. I mean, I have now become a complete defender of Colin Farrell. You know, he's done so much. He's done some good comedy work. He's a big action guy. I mean, I actually like the remake of Total Recall. And I actually had the privilege to see this film 2 weeks ahead of the scheduled release date. Last week, I had entered a competition on Smooth Radio's website, where I had won tickets to an advanced screening of the film. As a matter of fact, there might be a couple of pictures of me on the website, as a rep was covering the event at my local Cineworld. Now, I mainly entered that as a gamble, thinking I might not probably win, but hey, I'll just be lucky that I did. Now, the film is packed with so many references, and as I have seen Mary Poppins too many times, I got almost every single reference. Paul Giamatti does a good job as Travers' chauffeur, and Jason Schwartzman and B.J. Novak do good jobs at playing the Sherman brothers, who write such classics as Spoonful of Sugar, Chim Chim Cheree, fidelity fiduciary bank, and supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, which Travers was at first against, but ultimately that did end up in the film. Now, one of the best things about this film is the score. Thomas Newman is one of my favourite film composers. If I was directing a film, I'd hire him to compose it. He'll probably be nominated, but overlooked as he did for the past 11 times. There are some points where you actually feel like it's a Thomas Newman score. But by the way, he does like he'll probably have guitars and banjos and stuff like that. And anyways, go and listen to some of my favourites of his compositions. The Letter That Never Came from Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events, Dead Already from American Beauty, That Next Place from Meet Joe Black. Please vote for him to win an Oscar because he truly deserves it. He's scored all these great films and he really deserves it. In my opinion, I think that Saving Mr. Banks is a brilliant film with fun facts and heartwarming drama that will please any fans of Mary Poppins and Walt Disney in general. I give this film a 10 out of 10. This is Cinemadman signing out. I'll see you later. Goodbye.